new Chewbacca bandolier strap. Fits over your shoulder for play and holds 10 action figures securely. Like new Princess Leia Organic and Breeze, each sold separately. It even has pouches.
New C-3PO collector's case Chewbacca bandolier
Hello again, it's me, your friend Rob, and welcome to the Collector's Case on Chewie's Bandolier YouTube channel. That's what this is, YouTube. Before I start, please hit that like button. Please share this video. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm at 56 subscribers now, so that's awesome. So thank you very much for the new subscriber who popped in the last day or so. I appreciate that very, very much. I'm obviously trying to grow this channel, so the more of you subscribe, the more I can make more videos and put them out there and let you guys see what we're talking about in this crazy 1/6 scale collecting world. So basically, as I've done in the past with certain 6 scale figures, particularly Legends Star Wars characters, I've been kind of doing a who is so-and-so each time, just so that people get an idea of who these Legends characters are, because let's face it, unless you're a certain age, 33, you may not be as familiar with some of these characters because they were around in the I'm gonna say between the mid 80s to the mid 90s. We had a bunch of years of no Star Wars, as a lot of you know. After Return of the Jedi in 1983, we didn't have any more Star Wars until Phantom Menace came out in 1999. Sorry, so it was 16 years between movies. In that time, as I've mentioned before, we had a resurgence of Star Wars in novels and comics and video games, and that was how Star Wars was surviving. There are so many books, so many Star Wars books out there that you can read post Return of the Jedi that pick up the story and go from there. Mainly because they didn't think they were making any more movies, so it was just, okay, well, that was it. That was Star Wars. Return of the Jedi was the end. Let's flesh out what happens after. And that's what the books were. They started with Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which, for those of you who don't know, was actually a book that came out in between the release of Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back, because the storyline, basically, it does not have Darth Vader being Luke's father, because that actually hadn't happened yet. We didn't have the Empire Strikes Back film that gave us that information, and I believe it was Alan Dean Foster who wrote the book, didn't know that either. So it's not canon because Vader is not Luke's father. But after that, the way the books went, after Return to the Jedi, the stories were basically filled out afterwards, and so you could kind of follow the paths of Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and Princess Leia and Chewie, and all the characters that we love from the movies. We get to see what they're doing now that the Empire has fallen, and what new sorts of adventures they get into. And these books went on for a while. We to the point where we basically treated them as canon because they were all we had. And again, not expecting there to ever be any new movies. So yeah, that was it. These were the stories. This is what happened. So in those days, there was a concerted effort to build a multimedia Star Wars story, and it was called Shadows of the Empire. And it was the story that was told through books and some comics and a video game, and all of them were connected. It was one story, and it was all connected, and it was amazing. It was the first time we'd ever seen anything like that, and it was really, really good. Gave us a really good bunch of stories. But the real start of what later became known as Legends, once Disney bought Star Wars and basically decanonized everything that came before their purchase of the company, they just called it Legends now. So they don't wipe it out of existence, but they basically make it into something that's like, oh well, those are just stories. Maybe they happened, maybe they didn't happen like that, maybe they happened in a different way, but they're not really canon anymore. So that was not great, and most fans really hate that. But after Return of the Jedi, we had the Heir to the Empire trilogy that was released in novels. It was a 3-part story. And that's where we get characters like Grand Admiral Thrawn, Mara Jade, and we get to see how things went post the fall of the Empire. So that was where it all started, basically. And that was Legends. All those stories were Legends. Everything that you see in any of those books, you go to the bookstore and you find Star Wars books, the paperbacks, it says Legends, read it because it's good. It's a good book. Read it. But it wasn't all just books. We also had video games. And one particular series of video games that were phenomenal, just basically because of the fact that it was just such a fun game to play, and the graphics were, for the time, the graphics were incredible. The story was engaging. It really pulled you in. Was The Force Unleashed. And it was in that line of games that had been coming out prior to it, where you played as a Jedi Knight and you could use a lightsaber, and because those first person shooter games were the thing, and using a lightsaber in a first person shooter, no one thought, how do you do that? Because we didn't really do games in third person, the style of third person that we do now. So it was an experiment leading up to that. But eventually we got to The Force Unleashed. Before that, we had Jedi Knight, and we had Jedi Knight 2. But anyway, Force Unleashed introduced a character named Galen Marek. Galen Marek was the child of 2 Jedi Knights following the Purge, who were hiding out. And basically what happens in a nutshell, and I don't want to spoil it, because in case anybody wants to go back and play the game and see it for themselves, something happens. Galen Marek as a child gets taken in by Darth Vader, who then raises him in the dark side of the Force. Galen is an incredibly powerful Force user, because obviously his parents were both Jedi Knights, so he inherited their abilities as well. The knock on him as a character in the video games is that it could not exist. He could not exist in the films. He couldn't exist in any other media, simply because he is ridiculously powerful. He is so powerful. There is a point in the game where he pulls a Star Destroyer out of the sky with the Force and crashes it. Now, while that's a really cool image, and it was a lot of fun to do it in the game, it kind of makes for it's a little much, as I'm sure you can imagine. But at any rate, Galen Marek is raised by Darth Vader in the dark side of the Force, trained to be Vader's assassin, because he has him as a secret, because he can't have an apprentice because of the Sith rule of 2. So he basically keeps it a secret from Palpatine. And the plan going forward is meant to be that one day they will overthrow Palpatine together, and that will be the way that things are going to go. Inevitably, he gets betrayed. I'm not going to go further into it than that, because again, if you want to play the game, it's still a really great story. I highly recommend it. But there is I want to call it a what if, in a way, sort of a what if scenario. If he had killed Vader, if Galen had killed Vader, because he becomes known as Starkiller. He basically he's Vader's assassin. He's like a secret assassin. Vader sends him off to do assassination wet work, for lack of a better term, and kill any sort of remaining hidden Jedi from the Purge, basically. So essentially, he has. I'm really being careful not to give anything away. Basically, what happens is Vader calls him Starkiller, and he, like I said, does Vader's bidding. After everything is done, you've finished the game. There's a level that you can play, an add-on level that takes place post the game, and it's set on Hoth, if I remember correctly, where you can play as Lord Starkiller, which is basically it's him if he had killed Vader and taken his place with Palpatine. So this is a deep Legends character, but it's a video game based Legends character, but it's an extremely popular video game, so that's why he counts. Yeah, that long, and I apologize for the length of it, but that long preamble is basically to point out the reason why he's an important character, why he's so cool, because he eventually does turn back to the light. In the actual gameplay, he turns back to the light. But why he's so cool, and why Howard, in his infinite wisdom at Hot Toys, decided to produce a 6-scale version of Lord Starkiller. Not a 6-scale version of Galen Merrick, because if he were to do that, he'd have to get the likeness rights from the actor who played him in the game, Sam Witwer, whom we all know. Sam Witwer's face was used as the face of Galen Merrick, and you need to get the rights to use it. And I think part of the reason why we got the Lord Starkiller version is because he's armored, he wears a mask, he's got a helmet on, the whole thing. You don't have to get likeness rights. There you go. So basically, what we did get then was we got his Dark Lord of the Sith armor. Look, that's what we got. And this is him right here. I'm just going to bring him forward so that you guys can see him. And then there he is. That is Lord Starkiller. And yeah, this is his Dark Lord of the Sith armor. He's got his 2 lightsabers, which is what he always had, but then he's also got a collection of lightsabers that he hooks to his belt from all the Jedi that survived the Purge, all the ones that he hunted down and killed for Vader. He keeps their lightsabers as a trophy. But this, my friends, this is Lord Starkiller. And as you can see, he looks really good. This is a really cool piece. I am so happy I got it. As you can see, he's got these claw things on his gloves. These are sharp. They're actually very, like, if you poke, like, they stab you. So you got to be careful. But yeah, his armor is really, really well designed. As you can see, he kind of has a mix between sort of that padded black leathery stuff that Vader wears himself. And I don't know if you noticed, and I don't think it was deliberate. It might have been, but it doesn't matter to me because it's sequels, and the sequels do not exist. But his helmet is very reminiscent of one of the Knights of Ren. I suspect they simply stole the design idea when they were doing the art design for the movie for the sequels, because this came out in the 90s, or sorry, this game came out in the early 2000s. So I don't believe that they had any knowledge of that. But at any rate, this guy is so cool. I love this figure. I'm really, really happy with it. And I'm really, once again, thrilled. I'm going to put him down now because I just don't want to drop him. I'm really thrilled that Howard is giving us these Legends characters, because I'm going to keep saying it like I'm a broken record. The Legends characters are every bit as important to Star Wars. If nowadays, I would say they're more important to Star Wars than even current canon is, because this is where we came from. This is the Star Wars that we originally were loving for the 16 years between Return of the Jedi and Phantom Menace. It's these characters that we followed. These are the ones we read. And it's not like a movie. We actually had to read books. This is why we made the connection to them that we have. When you're reading a character over multiple books, for instance, you develop a strong bond to that character. You really love this character or you really hate this character, depending on which way that character is going. Same thing with the video games. The Force Unleashed game, I believe there were two. I believe it was Force Unleashed and then Force Unleashed 2. I think there were two of them, if I remember correctly. And it was just a really, really great story. And like I said, yeah, he is way overpowered in the game. But it's a video game, and you want to use force powers and you want to do wild things because it's entertaining. You're meant to be in control and have, you want to feel like you have these powers, and that's the whole thing. But regardless of that, he's still a really well-written character. Just about all the Legends characters were really well-written characters. And when I say the Legends characters, I mean the ones that were not part of the original trilogy initially. I don't mean Han, Luke, and Leia and everybody that we know from the movies. They were already there, so we already know them. I mean the ones that were introduced in the books. Howard, give us Mara Jade. I just want to say that. But also, there are just so many other video game characters besides this one that managed to find their way into our collective hearts in terms of what we love about Star Wars before the prequels came out. For instance, Bastila Shan from Knights of the Old Republic. HK-47 is another one that people just love, that character from Knights of the Old Republic. Like when you're doing a role-playing game like that, you tend to connect with the characters more deeply because you are basically following their story more intimately because you're them. So you're kind of following their motivations and what they want to do and everything else. So the connections we have to those characters are not superficial. We really do love these characters. It's just the way they are. And so the fact that Howard is making these in 6th scale at this level of detail is phenomenal. I'm absolutely thrilled that he's doing this. There are a number of other characters that are coming out that are Legends characters. Darth Malak is another one. Darth Malgus is another one. Actually, there's a Darth Malgus figure that is due to be released any time now, that I have also ordered. But that one's due to be released any time now. Darth Nihilus, who in my mind is one of the best designed from a visual standpoint. He is eerie. Like you look at him and okay, this is an evil person. You can just tell. And again, you get to know these characters through the video games. But these are the Legends characters that we love. All of these. And the fact that Howard's giving to us, we should be very, very grateful. Those of us who have a love for the Legends storylines and everything that came before the prequels, and certainly that was around before Disney came along. And well, let's face it, they tried to get rid of it, but they didn't, because everybody loves the Legends stuff more than their stuff anyway. So nice try, Disney, but you blew it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to get into it that way. Anyhow, yes, Lord Starkiller is a phenomenal character, and the figure is equally phenomenal. I love this piece. It's amazing. I haven't managed to light him up yet because I don't have USB cord for. I need the USB power source, and I am holding off on getting a few of those until I have my new cabinet built. But once that's done, trust me, you guys are going to see it. I'll probably do a collection tour at some point. There's more to it than just what you see here. So yeah. But when that day comes, you will know. I will make it known, and there will be a lead up. I'll make sure you know. At any rate, that's who Lord Starkiller is. He's worth knowing. I highly recommend, if you don't mind playing older video games. And again, like I said, it's still good. It doesn't matter. It's still good. The gameplay is great. It's really, really well done. So if you can go back and get the game, I highly recommend that you play it because it's really good. It's called The Force Unleashed. Trust me, you'll thank me later. So anyway, in the meantime, I have been Rob, your friend, and this has been The Collector's Case. Please click that like button. It's free and it helps me. It really does help get the word out for me. Like it shows a lot of engagement with my channel if you like my videos. So please like the video, subscribe to my channel, please. I'm trying to get to 100. Let's get to 100 subscribers by, I don't know, let's say July or June. I don't know if we can get there before July, but anyway, try and get there to July. But thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that you guys all were here and got to know a little bit more about who Lord Starkiller is, because again, he's worth getting to know. So on that note, have a great day. Have a great weekend. Be nice to each other. Everybody be nice to each other. We're all here together. We're all on the same ride. Let's just enjoy it for what it is, and collect the things you love and love the things you love, and don't worry about what other people think about it. All right, that's it. I'm out. Take care.